COVID-19, the coronavirus, has been making big impacts and changes to my life. It's not been easy, I can say that for sure. It's actually been a lot harder than most would assume it'd be. So I don't do much in the morning anymore. I'm so used to having a routine that now that I'm at home, it's low-key ruined. Now in the morning, instead of going straight to class, I just make some coffee and toast before going to my online classes, but that can be hard sometimes too. You know what else is hard? Worrying about the virus and what could possibly happen to your parents and your family. I'm especially worried about the family members who still have to work through this, like my mom, for example. She works at Target, an essential place of work during this pandemic, so Monday through Friday she has to go to work, mask on and all. It's incredibly worrying. It makes my anxiety more worse than it should be. Speaking of which, it's really lonely here. Despite my dad being home from his own job making him stay at home, I stay in my room not knowing how to spend most of my days. What is there to do when everything you've ever known and everything that you used to ever do is now null and void? Before this whole thing happened, I was, living my day-to-day life. Going to class, hanging out with my best friend, doing the stupid things we do constantly, and I don't know where it stopped. Right after spring break, we had to, and by we, mostly I, because I lived the furthest away from everybody in my friend group, I had to go back home to Houston. This only happened after the fact. I went back onto campus for 5 days. That SFA allowed us to go back on campus to live before they ultimately kicked us out too. So, timeline goes, went to Dallas for spring break, just spent time with my best friends. Went back to NAC because, they allowed us to come back. And then 5 days later, we were kicked off. My roommate left on a Friday, I left on a Saturday. So yeah, difficult. It's been difficult. So I wanted to touch base with something that has been very prevalent for me, and I wanted to talk about it, so I'm going to do this here. So I have anxiety, and this is not self-diagnosed, this is actually me being diagnosed with anxiety, and I have a mild case of depression. So you can just imagine how me and other people with the same and like illnesses as me have been dealing with this whole epidemic. It's, for me personally, it's been one hell of a ride in a negative way because my anxiety is at all-time high. At some points I think I'm experiencing the COVID-19 symptoms, but it's just me having anxiety attacks. I can't breathe because I'm so anxious about everything. It's really bad and terrible, but keeping away from the news and keeping myself into a positive mindset is the only thing that I know I physically can do. I can't talk for everybody else who has anxiety, depression, or any of the mental illnesses out there, but I know for me personally, it's been a trying time. So in this next part, I want to showcase all the stuff that I've been seeing ever since, I go grocery shopping and stuff like that. I just want to showcase what it's like living in a big metropolitan area, because I live in Harris County, which has the highest count of COVID-19 cases confirmed. So I just want to showcase what it's like living in a county that has the biggest amount of cases and what it looks like from my point of view going different places. It is so desolate. Now to something more positive about being in this whole experience. There's not much I do here, but I feel like I do a lot. I'll sit there, I'll watch TV, I'll be on my computer. I'll sit there and I'll doodle, I'll digitally draw. I'll be doing things that I know will entertain myself. Like I'll read my books just because I can. And I'll go through social media multiple times a day because there's nothing else for me to do. You never realize how confining your life is without going outside until it actually happens, You could say that this whole coronavirus thing has put a real damper on me mentally and physically, but I know at the end of the day we're all gonna get through this fine and dandy. And while it may take a while, I know that we'll be able to go outside at some point, and when this is all over, we can look back on this as the time that, well, I don't even know. Thank you for listening to my sad yet riveting tale of the Corona Chronicles. Be safe out there, wash your hands, keep yourself contained if you feel sick, go see the doctor if you do feel the symptoms, and again, be safe out there.